Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Scott, and today we're going to be painting the first member of my Ironhead Squat Prospector crew for Necromunda. This is an awesome model, so let's go ahead and dive into how I painted it. Now before we can start painting this model, we're going to prime it using Pewter Gray Paint Plus Primer from Rust-Oleum. Our first step in this project is going to be to take a mixture of 2 parts Kabalite Green and 1 part Stegadon Scale Green. We're going to base all of the armor using this color. Once that base color is in place, we're going to take Coeilia Greenshade and we're going to do a pin shade, putting this only in the crevices and cracks where we want the shade to appear. Once we've allowed that shade to dry, we're going to take Kabalite Green and we're going to use this to edge highlight all of the ridges that are on the armor of the model. Now we're going to do a second layer of highlighting using Sybarite Green, and this time we're only focusing on the spots where we think the light would catch the most on the edges of the armor. Now that we've finished with all the green armor, we're going to make the helmet and the fist yellow, and we're going to use Averland Sunset as the base color for these armor pieces. Once we've finished applying that base color, we're going to take Casandora Yellow and we're going to do a pin shade once again, putting this color only in the recesses where we want it to appear a bit darker. Once we've allowed that shade to dry, we're going to take Yriel Yellow. We're going to use this to edge highlight all of the ridges and edges on the fist and helmet. Our next step is going to be to take Rakarth Flesh, and we're going to put this on all of the fabric parts of the model. This includes the pants and the sleeves, but we're not going to put this on the tabard that's wrapped around his waist. We're going to shade all of the Rakarth Flesh parts using Seraphim Sepia, and you can go as heavy as you'd like with this. It'll just make it appear darker. Once that shade is dried, you're going to take Rakarth Flesh again, and we're going to use this to highlight all of the raised ridges of the cloth parts of the model. Now for the tabard, we're going to take Squig Orange, and we're going to paint this all around the tabard, and this is kind of out of place and bright looking, but it's going to look good by the time we're done shading it and highlighting it. To shade the orange, we're going to bring back Seraphim Sepia, and once again, you can go as heavy as you'd like. Once that shade is dried, we're going to take Jokaero Orange, and we're going to use this to highlight all the edges and raised ridges on the tabard. Now we're going to take Leadbelcher, and we're going to use this to paint the weapon and any of the metal accessories on the model. This includes parts of the backpack and the fingers on the fist. Next we're going to paint all the leather straps on the model using Rhinox Hide as the base color. We're also going to take Balthasar Gold, and we're going to use this to paint all of the ornaments on the model. This includes the belt buckle and some random details on the backpack and weapon that we choose to put in this different color. With those base colors in place, we're going to take Agrax Earthshade, and we're going to wash this over all of the metallic parts and the leather straps on the model. Once that brown shade is dried, we're going to take Mournfang Brown, and we're going to use this to edge highlight all of the leather straps on the model. Next, we're going to take Khorne Red, and we're going to use this to paint the handle of the hammer, as well as part of the hammer head. We're going to shade all of those red parts that we just painted using Carroburg Crimson. While that shade is drying, we're going to take Gray Seer and we're going to paint this on all of the lenses and dials that are on the model. We're then going to take Contrast Talassar Blue, and we're going to paint this on all of those dials and lenses that we painted in the previous step. Now it's time to go back to the red we painted earlier, and we're going to take Wazdakka Red. We're going to use this to highlight all of the ridges on the handle, as well as the ridges on the head of the hammer. Next, we're going to paint the fingers of the model using Cadian Fleshtone as the base color. And just be careful not to get this on the handle of the hammer. We're going to use Riekland Fleshshade as the shade for the skin on the hands. Once the shade is dried, we're going to take Kislev Flesh and we're going to very carefully highlight all of the raised parts of the fingers. And once again, just be careful not to get this on the handle of the hammer. Now there's one more detail I almost forgot to do on this model. We're going to take Mechanicus Standard Gray and we're going to use this to paint the undersuit that can be seen between the different panels of the armor on the model. Our final step of this project is to take Contrast Basilicanum Gray, and we're just going to wash this over all those gray parts that we just painted, as well as painting this in the crack on the helmet of the model. And with that, we finished painting our Ironhead Squat Prospector. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I really hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, go ahead and like it and then subscribe to my channel so you can see future videos that I make. As always, have an amazing day, and we'll catch you in the next one.